Hello and welcome back to my channel. So today I've got something really exciting. So as you know, I've been following booktube for quite a while, and one of the earliest booktubers that I followed was Steph, and recently I saw that she made some videos based on Taylor Swift songs and book recommendations, and I thought that was really cool. And I think she did a recommendation video with Midnight and recommended books for every song on the album, and my favourite album by Taylor Swift is actually Lover, so I thought I'd do a little Lover book recommendation video. So the first song on the Lover album is I Forgot That You Existed, and the book that I'd recommend, which fits the theme and just kind of the story of the song, is Payback's a Witch by Lena Harper, yes. And I absolutely love this book. So it's about Emmy Harlow, and she had a really bad breakup right after school, or in school, or college, or something like that. So quite early on, and with her first love, who is Gareth Blackmore. It's a witchy book, by the way. So she's a witch, he's a wizard, and there was a bad breakup, and he's kind of known as like a breaker of hearts. And in this book, she has to return to her hometown for kind of like a spellcasting tournament, and well, she is eventually gonna meet her ex, Gareth Blackmore, again, and she's kind of scared because it was a really bad breakup. But then she gets back and she meets Talia, who is another one of Gareth's exes, and kind of sparks are flying, and then they actually fall in love with each other. It's just really cool. I like it, and so I thought that because the song is called I Forgot They Existed, and Talia and Emmy both forget that Gareth Blackmore exists and fall in love with each other instead. So this is my first recommendation. And the next song. The next song on the Lover album is, which one is it? I have no idea what the next one is called. I should have a list next to me. I'll search it up on my phone. Where are we? I can't find it. Lover, where is Lover? Okay, there we go. So the second song on the Lover album is Cruel Summer, and the book that I would like to recommend is Just Like You by Nick Hornby. And I know I just mentioned this one in another video, but it just fits the song so perfectly because it's an age gap romance, and it's about a single mum who falls in love with a young black guy in London, and it's just they keep their relationship secret because they're afraid of what other people might think, and then they also think it's not going to last anyway, and so they don't really make any rules. They're not like exclusive or anything. So yeah, I thought that this fits the Cruel Summer vibe of the song really nicely. In the song, they also keep it secret, and they also have no rules in the relationship. So yeah, I thought this fits the song quite well. Yeah, so I would highly recommend. Then the next song that I want to talk about is Lover, which is the third song on Taylor Swift's Lover album. And well, I know people say the ultimate romance is Romeo and Juliet, but no, I actually hate Romeo and Juliet. Why did he not wait like for 5 seconds? Why did he have to kill himself? Yeah, I had to read it for uni twice. I hated it. I also hated the movie. Anyway, different stories. So, my favourite romance ever has got to be Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen. And it's just it's my ultimate love story. You can't say anything against it. It's perfect. I'm assuming you're familiar with the story. So it's about Elizabeth Bennet and Mr. Darcy, and they both think that the other person doesn't like them, but they get these feelings, and then they're just too proud, and there's also some grudges that they hold, and it's great. It's amazing. It's a lovely romance, and I think everyone should read it or watch the movie. It's also a great movie, or both. I mean, I've read it I've seen the movie. I've seen the series. I prefer the movie, but anyway, yes, this is the perfect book for lovers. Yeah. Then the next song on the album is The Man, which we all know is about Scooter and Taylor Swift and how she wants to break free from him, and she's singing about how it's just still more difficult for women to make it in life. I mean, the lyrics, I'm so sick of running as fast as I can, wondering if I get there quicker if I was a man. It's just, yeah, it's a great song. So obviously this has to be a feminist story, and the book that I think fits the song perfectly is Lessons in Chemistry by Bonnie Garmis. Yeah, so this is just, it's the perfect book for this, because it's about a chemist. What's her name? Elizabeth? Yeah, it's about Elizabeth Stott, who is a chemist in the 50s, and she is trying to make it in the, well, academically in science, but she's just faced with so much prejudice, and she's at such a disadvantage because she is a woman and is just not respected or believed or anything. And it's about her struggles and how she copes with just how she tries to make it in chemistry when she's faced with all of these discriminations and disadvantages, and then she's also a single mum. And yeah, it's an amazing book, and I think it's it's a book. I mean, so many people are talking about it. It's a bestseller. It's in Waterstones everywhere. It's already translated into several languages, but yeah, it should be translated into every language because it is incredible. And I think I devoured it in 2 days. It's just great. And also, the dog and how she interacts with her dog is amazing. This is not really related to the song, but it's a great story, like how she teaches her dog words, and then also how she just how she brings up her daughter, and it's great. Read it. Yeah. So the 5th song on the Lover album is The Archer, and the book that I would highly recommend for this is Normal People by Sally Rooney. I actually don't have it with me, it's at my parents at the moment, so I read it quite a while ago. Yeah, it's a great book. That fits the song because in the song it's all about insecurities in a relationship, and so one of my favourite lines in the song is, I've been the archer, I've been the prey, screaming, who could ever leave me, darling, but who could stay? And so in Normal People, which is about Marianne and Connor, and at first Connor is kind of the popular guy at school and Marianne is more of an outsider, and then kind of like their roles reverse when they go to college and meet again, and now Marianne is like the socially outgoing type and Connor is more isolated and more shy, and I just thought that fits the song because they've both been the popular person and the shy person and the outsider, and also in their relationship, and then Marianne's convinced that no one could love her, and so that kind of fits the song's theme of insecurities in a relationship. And it's a great novel about a relationship over the years and how life just separates them and throws them back together, and the insecurities that they maintain throughout the entirety of the relationship. And yeah, so that's The Archer, Normal People. The next book that I want to recommend for the 6th song the 6th song is I Think He Knows, and the book that I would recommend for the song kind of fits it is The Witness by Nora Roberts. So Nora Roberts, I mean, she's a well-known romance author and fantasy author, and this book is actually something between a thriller and a romance because it's about Abigail Lowry, who is part of the Victim Protection Program. Is that what it's called? I think so. not victim, witness protection program. She's in the witness protection program because she witnessed a mafia murder when she was a teenager and has been under protection ever since. And she's also on the run from the police though, because among the police there is they've got a mole, and so she's also not safe with them. So she's just living on her own, isolated, moving every few years. But then she kind of gets not really suspected, but the local police officer is intrigued by her and just why she lives so secluded, and wants to get to know her. And so it's about her fears, being afraid that he might know that she's not the person who she claims she is, because it's not her real name, Abigail Lowry, and that also she doesn't know, she thinks she can't trust anyone, and then she's also afraid that the mafia might have found her, and yeah, she's continuously on the run from the mafia. And so I thought this would be a great book to read if you like the song. I think he knows. So the next book on the Love album is Miss Americana and the Heartbreak Prince. And the book that I would recommend, I don't have it with me because I also read it a while ago, but it is, what's it called? Mayhem by Jamie Shaw. It is a romance, yes. I mean, Love is a romance album, so there's got to be a lot of romance in this video, but it's a rockstar romance. So it's about this normal girl, what's her name? I don't know what her name is, but yeah, so it's about a normal girl who meets the rock star of a really famous rock band. They're called Mayhem, I think. That's why it's called Mayhem. Yeah, so she meets him after a concert and they share a kiss, and but then they just separate and both of them think they're never going to see each other again. And then the next day in French class, girl sees the singer. So the singer, Adam Everest, is in her French class, and he's actually a really bad student and he needs tutoring. So, and she's really clever. So Adam Everest, the rockstar guy, asks her for tutoring lessons, but he doesn't recognise her. He doesn't know that she is the girl from the night before, and so she agrees to tutor him, and just but she has to go on tour with him because he's on tour at the moment. So she has to tutor him whilst they're on tour. She kind of falls for him, but he's still thinking about the girl that he kissed. Well, not knowing that is actually, it's not special, but it's a really nice read, and it is a bit cheesy, but it's a nice book and it fits the song because she's just an American girl and he's the rockstar heartbreak prince. Yeah. Then the next song on the Lover album is Paper Rings, and I think I've got the perfect book for this song because it's just yeah, it just fits it so nicely. So it Happened One Summer by Tessa Bailey. So this is about Piper Bellinger, who is a rich girl, because her stepdad's really rich, he's got a business or something, I don't know, and she's also really big on Instagram, so she's an influencer, but then she gets into kind of a scandal, and as like a punishment, her stepdad sends her to this small fisher town by the coast, because that's where her biological dad grew up. And she's just sent there, and when she gets there she meets this really grumpy fisherman and captain, sea captain of the fisherman people, and yeah, so it's a grumpy sunshine love story, and it's just really cute because obviously she's used to shiny things and like rich things, but she still falls for this grumpy, poor, well, maybe not poor, but just normal guy, and wants to be with him. So it's like, it just fits the vibe of the song really well. Like, I like shiny things, but I'd marry you with paper rings. So that's kind of Piper Bellinger and what's his name? Brendan. Piper and Brendan. I think they're the couple from the song. It's just too similar. Yeah. So this is a great book to read. And then the next song on the Lover album is Cornelia Street. And well, I was thinking a lot about what book I'd recommend that goes well with this song, and in the end I went with 84 Charing Cross Road by Helene Hanff. And this is a non-fiction book actually, and you have to admit the only reason why I picked this book was because the song is a street name and this has got a street name in the title, but it's a really good book actually. And so it is about Helene Hanff herself and her relationship. Well, she's American, and it's about her her epistolary relationship with a bookseller from London, because she's looking for rare second-hand books and he specialises in that. So they just have this very long-lasting relationship and friendship. Like, it's the real letters that they wrote to each other over the years. I think they were in contact for more than 10 years, and sometimes they wrote to each other like every month, other times they weren't in contact for almost a year. And I just thought it was a beautiful book, just showing how you can get to know someone and how you can become kind of intimate with someone without ever meeting them, because they never actually met, because she was in America. And it's great. I would highly recommend, and it's got a street name in the title, right? That fits. Yes, so Cornelia Street and 84 Charing Cross Road. Yeah. The next song on the Lover album is Death by 1,000 Cuts, and even though the brutality aspect isn't really what the song is about, I thought that would be a great theme kind of to use for the book that I would recommend along with the song. And well, the book that I went for is The Maidens by Alex Michaelides. I don't know how to pronounce his name, but yeah, he's also the author of The Silent Patient, which is also another incredible book. But I thought The Maidens fits Death by 1,000 Cuts really nicely because, well, it features really brutal murders. That's basically it. It's about a psychologist. Her name is, what's her name? Mariana, and so she gets a call by her niece, who studies in Cambridge, or is it Oxford? Cambridge, yes. That her friend, so her niece's friend, probably got murdered the night before, because it's all over the news that there was a brutal murder, with lots of blood everywhere. And so the psychologist, the main protagonist, decides to visit her niece and try to investigate herself, and it's a really great book, so would highly recommend. Then the next song on the Lover album is London Boy, which is my favourite song on the album. And no, not in general, there's other Taylor Swift songs that I like better, but London Boy is my favourite on the Lover album. And I thought that the perfect book to read if you're a fan of this song is Red, White and Royal Blue. Do I have it? I don't have it with me, do I? It's there. Oh, my phone's falling. It's here. I've got it. Yeah. Red, White and Royal Blue. Okay, so this is about the Crown Prince of England, Henry, a fictional Crown Prince obviously, and the son of the American president. And the son of the American president falls in love with the Crown Prince of England. So he's obviously a London boy growing up in Buckingham Palace and everything. Yeah, it's a very cute queer romance. It's a YA novel, so I think the protagonists are around 20, as far as I know. It doesn't say on the back, no, but it's just very cute. Yes. And the next book on the Lover album, I have to look it up because I dropped my phone, is Soon You'll Get Better. So the book that I would recommend for Soon You'll Get Better is The Comfort Book by Matt Haig. Matt Haig is one of my absolute favourite authors of all time. I love all of his books. Still need to read 2 of them, I think, but I read 4 of his books now, and I love them all. And The Comfort Book is just a really, really good book to read if you're not feeling very... There's an ant. I hate ants. We had an ant problem a few months ago. I hope they're not coming back. Anyway, so the comfort book. Yes, that's what I was talking about. It's just a great book to read if you're not feeling well, also, or if you're going through difficult times. You don't have to read it as like in one go, and you don't have to read it from start to finish. You can just like open it on a random page and just read it. Like some of the they're not, I wouldn't even call them chapters. They're more like paragraphs. Some of them are like 1 to 2 pages, and others might only be 3 sentences. And it's just a really comforting book to read. I would highly recommend to anyone who needs some comfort and needs to read something that makes them feel understood. Yeah, so that's the comfort book by Matt Haig for Soon You Get Better, because it'll make you feel better. So the next song on the Lover album is You Need to Calm Down. Yeah, which is another favourite of mine on the album. It's just great. It's a vibe. I love it. And it always makes me think of Taylor Swift and her cats. I mean, cats are just the ultimate animals that don't care and just, yeah, want everyone else to calm down. I mean, they can be divas, obviously, but I don't know. It always makes me think of cats. And the book that I would recommend to go along with You Need to Calm Down is The Cat Who Saved Books. I know this doesn't seem like there is much of a connection, but the cat in this book, it's just so cool. It's just so impatient also, because it's a talking cat. Yeah, I should say that. It's a magical realism book. And it's a talking cat who goes to a boy who just inherited a bookshop, a second-hand bookshop from his grandpa or uncle, something like that. So his name's Rentaro Natsuki, and yeah, so the cat comes to him because the cat needs his help to save some books, and the vibe of the cat is just so much like the voice in You Need to Calm Down, because he's just so impatient and just wants to get on with actually like saving the books and everything. And it's a really nice book. It's also a short read. It's very weird, but also really cool, and I enjoyed reading it. And the next song on the Lover album is Afterglow, I think. It is Afterglow. And it just kind of fits with the atmosphere of this book, which is Open Water by Caleb Azuma Nelson. It's a romance, and it's just about this young couple from London. Well, they meet one night, and they're both artists, and they're both struggling with trauma and racism that they experience, and that is about being afraid to commit. And I thought the atmosphere of the book, it's just so bittersweet, and it just kind of fits the Afterglow song really well. Because in the song it's also about self-sabotaging a relationship. So, as far as I know, Taylor Swift wrote the song to express a period in her life when she self-sabotaged a relationship, and that's kind of what the protagonists in this book are doing. And yeah, so it's a really, really nice book, and I would highly recommend Afterglow, Open Water. I actually just realised that I missed a song, which is False God. And the book that I would recommend, it's got nothing to do, well, it's not really about the theme of the song, but the title again. So, False God, and I thought it should be like a multi-religious book that I'd recommend. And the book that I would highly recommend for that is Yes, No, Maybe So by Becky Albertelli and another co-author whose name I forgot. Yeah, but it's about two teenagers in, I don't know which state, but a state in America, who are volunteering to campaign ahead of the local elections. She's a Muslim and he's a Jew, and it's just about how when they get thrown together to volunteer together and like campaign together and go to houses and everything to try to get people to vote for the Democratic candidate, they start to understand each other better and what religion means to them and their beliefs and everything, and also their struggles. And I just think it's a really beautiful book about how religion, even though there might be differences in whether you believe in a god and which god you believe in, it doesn't need to separate you, and it could still lead to love and friendship and everything. So it's a really inclusive book, and I just really thought it was beautiful. Don't have it with me again because I read it a while ago, but it's stuck with me over the years, and it's just, yeah, it's a great book. The next song on the album is Me, and the book that I would recommend that goes along nicely with the song is Everything I Know About Love by Dolly Alderton, which is another non-fiction book, and it's about the author's experiences and realizations that she has during her 20s, and how she deals with relationships and one-night stands and with being alone. But I also think that this book really fits the me vibe, that there's only one of you and that's okay, and that's great, that you're unique, and I thought it just fits the vibe in this book like that. Obviously she struggles, as we all do sometimes when we feel alone and wish we had a partner or something, but just how she deals with it, and yeah, how she's happy on her own, how she gets to be happy on her own. So yeah. And the second to last song on the album is It's Nice to Have a Friend, and there's just one book that fits this song. It's the ultimate fit. It's The Boy, the Mole, the Fox and the Horse by Charlie Mackey. Yes, Charlie Mackey. It's lovely. I love it so much. I put this off for so long because I just thought it wouldn't be nice, but I started it, and I mean it's like you can read this in half an hour, and it's just beautiful, and just about friendships and how friends love you for and in spite of your flaws and everything. And yeah, I've just earmarked so many of these pages. It's just so cute. It's so cute. I love it so much. Actually, I gave this to a friend in January, and she also really loved it. Yeah, so I would recommend this to anyone who needs a bit of comfort. And then finally, took me long enough, the last song on the album is Daylight, and I would actually recommend a poetry collection with this one. And this is Midnight Milkshakes by Jack Ray. And it's a collection of poems that he wrote about his past relationship, and so in Daylight, in this song, it's about struggling through relationships and the main things that really matter in a relationship, and how it might not be the immediate love at first sight feeling and just being blown away by the feelings that you have for another person, but that it could also be the simple things that you might value in relationships. I once believed love would be burning red, but it's golden, like daylight. Yeah, so I just thought that just fits the poem collection of this book. Yeah, so one of the poems, for example, it's a really short one, so I'm going to read it to you. So, Head and Shoulders, that's the title. And there were plenty of times my love for you was visible on my face, especially when I talk about everything we could do to rule the world with nothing but a smile. And I just thought it just captures this intensity of feelings that you can have for a partner so well, and how, yeah, and then obviously in the course of this poem collection, you'll realise that the relationship didn't work out as well as before in the beginning, and I just thought it goes really well with the song and the message of the song. They're just beautiful, beautiful poems in here. Like, I was building you a monument while you were digging me a grave. It is a great poem collection, and this is the last book that I would recommend for the Love album. And yeah, I will see you next week for another video. Thank you for watching, and I hope you have a lovely day. Bye!